what is going on, my YouTube people? 2099 back here with another video. And in today's video, I am going to be talking about something that I have talked about many times in the past, but it's something that I feel like has to be talked about once more. And that is about the Iranian national team and where its place is at the moment. It just looks like we're in a complete mess right now. And for those who follow my YouTube channel, but of course aren't supporters of the Iranian national team, some of the things I'm about to tell you, you may have never even heard of. So buckle up, get some snacks, and let's get ready to rant a little bit. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, join all of my social media. All the links will be down in the description for you guys. My Discord, X, TikTok, everything, quite literally. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. This video is being made after the new squad list that has been added or shown to the public for the upcoming World Cup qualification round, and it's just horrible. We're a top 20 nation, by the way, according to the FIFA rankings, and we do not act like one at all. And this is something that has to be talked about because no one is talking about this. You see it obviously on maybe Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, but none of it really, goes on to YouTube. And I feel like this is a perfect place for a lot of people that don't know much about the Iranian national team may want to watch this to know more about it, because from the outside we look like a very solid national team, but what goes inside of it is not even a fraction of that. Now, the main concern about this Iranian national team squad list that just came out is that there is a lot missing, and there's being a lot of criticism shown by the public towards our current manager, Ghalenoei, who, this guy, we've given so many chances. We've had some good results under him, like that game against Japan. We've also had some very average results, like the 0-0s against Uzbekistan and such games that we should be winning, quite frankly. Nevertheless, if you look at the squad list, you may, recognize some familiar names. If you guys, again, like I said, are not supporters of the national team, you guys might recognize your Sardar Ozmoon, Saman Ghoddos, Jahan Bash, Mehdi Taremi. Those guys, you probably have heard these guys. They play in Europe. They're the more mainstream players, played in Europe. Ozmoon doesn't play in Europe anymore. We're going to leave it at that. Nevertheless, he's been keeping out a lot. And the main concern with this national team over the years has been it's always the same team. Some of these players have been on since 2014, bro. And that's a long time ago. And so most of these players have been on since the 2018 for World Cup. And it just shows you that, like, it seems that our federation just doesn't believe in growth and just wants to use the same players over and over. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if you look at all the competitions that we've played since 2018, we've pretty much had the same exact team. There's a few differences there and there, but for the most part, it's the exact same team. These players, most of them are old. At the World Cup, we were the oldest team, and I believe even in the Asian Cup, we were the oldest team. I could be wrong on that, though, but we were definitely up there. Whatever this all means is that it looks like our federation just doesn't care about youth development, or if it does, it doesn't pay attention to it. I'll give you an example. We've got probably the next best thing in Iranian football, Hossein, who currently plays in Russia. Now, I know a lot of people say Russia is not a high-level league, but you've got to realize for Iranian players, it is a lot harder to move out to Europe, due to sanctions and stuff. Like, it's a lot easier for a player from another nation in Asia, say Japan or Korea, to move out to Europe than it is for a player that comes from Iran due to visa and stuff. That's why you don't see much Iranians in Europe. I mean, they do have the possibility to go through, but it's not as common as it should be anyways. A lot of these players deserve to be playing in Europe. They're just not. But that's besides the point. He's been having a fantastic start in the Russian Premier League, and he hasn't been called up. He hasn't been called up at all. And he's been called up once, and I think he played like a total of 6 minutes, and he's by far our most talented player. You guys are watching clips of him playing right now. This guy is unbelievable. And the fact that this guy is not being called up is hilarious. And then you've got another striker, Said Sahakhizan. He also plays in Russia. They both basically moved from the Persian league to the Russian league just this year, so they're fresh into Europe, already doing well. And then you've got Ghalenoei, our manager, calling out the same players over and over. Now, obviously, the Taremis and Ozmoons, these guys are irreplaceable, but when you're calling up a player like Shahriar Mohanlu. Are you serious? Like, look at him. He, by the way, is not a good player, right? I mean, I'll give him his flowers. He was decent in the Persian Pro League a few years ago, but what is he still doing in this team is beyond me. And the fact that he's still being called up, he's basically the point of every single criticism ever whenever this guy is called up. Then you've got Ghalenoei coming out and saying that he actually has added in a lot of youth players and he doesn't understand the criticism. Where are the youth players? Yes, he has been putting a few youngsters there and there, notably Amin Hasbavi, Mohammad Horbani, if you want to count him as a youngster, and the under-17 goalkeeper, well, he's 18 now, Asha Shakuri. But what's the point of putting someone like that when he's not even going to get a sniff of the pitch, if we're being honest? This guy's not playing a single minute. He's purely there for the experience. You've got so many players that are so talented and they're not invited, and it just begs the question of, is he just calling up these players because he already knows how good they are and he's going to basically save them or save Ghalenoei from getting fired? Because that's what it looks like to me. Whenever I see this national team and I'm like, it's the same players, I'm not even hyped up for a new squad list because I know it's going to be the same players over and over. We've got so many dual nationals that don't make it to the squad. Notably, Kahvez Zahir Islam, half American, half Iranian. He has an Iranian passport. The Iranian Federation has not even contacted him once. That's like the bare minimum of what you should be doing. We've got Paja Pichka, who plays in Sweden. A lot of players in our diaspora who the Federation just doesn't care about. We've also got that one guy, Dennis Ekatayensa. He's German and Spanish, but is eligible for Iran through his father. Another guy that is doing absolutely well in the Belgian Pro League. So like we've got so many players who can get into the squad and they don't bat an eye on them. That's for the squad. Then you've got the pitches in Iran. The pitches are horrible. Our main stadium, the Azadi Stadium, is currently getting renovated. It's not getting renovated, guys. They're just saying it's getting renovated. The main reason as to why it's not being used is because the pitch is just horrible. Every pitch in Iran is horrible. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen pictures. It's horrible. It makes us look like we're playing in, I don't want to say more than that because it's genuinely embarrassing. And as an Iranian, seeing that, it begs the question: how are we top 20 in the world with those type of things? We might not be a top 20 team, whatever, but we're one of the top nations in football, that's for sure. One of the best in Asia, or the best, however you want to call it. But when you see those sort of things, you're just like, how are we even at the level that we are at the moment? And this video is more so just to have a small rant of like, well, you know, we could be doing a lot better with what we have. And the fact that we aren't paying as much attention as we should be, it is going to hurt us in the end. Because the results, yeah, we might be barely winning, but we're not showing any signs of a good future unless these things happen. Unless these things change. If these things don't change, what I'm just mentioning to you right now, we don't have a good future. We have talent, that's for sure. But in terms of where the Iranian national team is heading towards, yeah, we'll qualify for the World Cup probably. I don't have any doubt about that. You know, it's not like we're in a position where like we're completely screwed, but how good can we actually be is a question that I feel like we're always gonna ask ourselves until the end of time. How many videos do you see from Iranian content creators? It's just saying the same thing over and over. Like, why is it the way it is? Why is this guy not inviting this guy? Why is our team playing like this? Etc, etc, etc. I remember I made a video 3.5 years ago on why you should support the national team if you're not Iranian. I no longer stand by that because I don't blame anyone for not watching Iranian football because, number one, it's pretty much inaccessible if you're outside Iran, by the way. It's very hard to actually get into it. Second of all, like, we're not as good as we should be, so like, why waste time on that team, if that makes sense? Nevertheless, this has been a pretty small rant on like what's going on with this national team. It's so annoying, so frustrating, and quite frankly, I don't think it's gonna get fixed anytime soon. Anyways, that's been me, 29 United, aka Arya. If you guys enjoyed today's video, if you guys did, like I said, join my social media, subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff, and I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.
Damn, I'm on red alert.